Welcome everyone, I'm back with the Myst 3 Exile. Will not do too long. This is the Learning Age, Janine Learning Age. It's a barren island. It has freshwater lake in the middle. At the bottom of a deep chasm, there are pathways, ladders, and stairways all over the island. The island age will be a learning experience for you. You need to find artist linking books and learn their use. First, you need to find the thief and find out what he is up to. This ragged larcenist has ducked around the rocks up a pathway to your right. Yes. Go forward twice. Okay. Pan to your right to see a metal ladder going up the side of the cliff. Climb it. Okay. Oh, that was quick. The top, pan down and cross the walkway to the thief's destination. It looks like an observatory of some sort. Let's first turn this. When I said pan down, that's pretty neat. Guess you can see all of that. That's really neat. And there's a door. I should have took pictures of that, but I'll take a picture. Let's take pictures of this. Through the portal, you will see the thief pacing about, holding. Try the door. You can't enter yet. Well, I saw him looking in the window at one time. There he is. Okay, what we do, turn around and pan down to see this observatory building appears to be built on a rock projection in the middle of the island, freshwater lake. I'll take a picture of that. That's interesting. Go back across the walkway and climb down to the middle level. Okay. Because that other took you all the way up. Okay. Let's take this. where you entered. Don't continue down to the beach yet. Instead, turn left along the short walkway and examine the pedestal with the reflector apparatus. Notice the red fire marble top. Well, this... Okay. Let's see, you don't want to go there yet. I'll take a picture of that. That's where we was, okay. Click on it. Turn it by clicking on the lower circular handle. Three positions. Through this reflector, you will sequentially see water, nothing, and a view of a similar reflector a distance away. Let's see what that does. And the next one is where it was at first. I don't know what that is. I don't see anything on that. The other one has a purple fire marble gracing its top. I don't see anything. Okay, purple. Yeah, that's it. I did see that. Okay, yeah. Okay. And that one to see nothing. That's not really, I don't know what that is. It's almost like it's underwater. Back out of the view and go forward right of the pedestal towards the huge ivory tusk looking structure out beside the sea. Okay. Notice that odd looking black and gold motif at the base of the tusk. Yep. Go forward, see a hole or well ahead of you carved into the rock to your left. Turn towards it. There's something there, isn't it? See that? Here it is. Turn towards it. Click forward and go down the ladder. I like this walkthrough. This is much better. And turn 100 degrees, you'll see that you are in a cave near the water line. Ahead of you is a door, but there's a strange, elaborate decoration wheel obstructing your path to the door. Yeah. Uh-huh. Can't get over it. Turn around. You can't get over it, around it, or under it. Yeah. Pan left towards the ocean. Okay. I did that. If you look carefully, you'll see what appears to be a turquoise colored man-made pillar out there, and just left of it, you can barely make out another ladder on the cliff side. Yeah, I see that. It looks like our next destination. You will see the top of the cave ladder just to the right of the cliff's edge. Go forward and climb down the ladder. I guess you got to go up the other one. It doesn't tell you to do that, but uh-oh. Huh. Well, let's see if we can figure that out. I don't see where that would be at. Where's it at? I don't see it. That don't make sense. Just to the right, maybe that's what that was. Is that it? Okay. Maybe. Wow, there it is. That was a lot of clicking there. Pan up and right before the pillar you saw from the other side. Oh, okay. Click on the left ladder to see what happens to that wheel you encountered in the walkway. Right lever once. That's really neat. Left lever once. Right lever once. That's pretty neat. Climb back up the ladder, go left back down the hole you walked down the hole in the walkway. I just gotta find it now. Okay. I'll end at this little section. You will see a wheel resting harmlessly against the cave wall. Turn around, go to the door and open it. Yep. This is the linking book room. The thief has apparently destroyed the room, making it impossible for you to get across to the other side. Well, you have plenty of other things to do here. Let's leave this place for now and explore the island. Take time here to read Artist Journal below. Artist Journal appearing below your playing screen. Let's save this. Well, let me see how much longer. Let's go ahead and read this journal. I don't know how we get down there to it. How do you get down to it? Because everything you do. Okay, you right click. Right click. Remember to go right click to view the journal. Let's go ahead and read that before we end this. I'll screenshot the first page. Always feared this day would come. For years, Catherine and I have dreamed of restoring Denny. We have dedicated our lives to the task, taking it upon ourselves to locate the citizens of Denny and convince them to return to their ruined city and rebuild. Our dream have become the dream of so many now. The progress we have made toward achieving it is something of which we all can stand proud. But I know now that it has been a mistake. The city of Denny should not be restored. It should stand forever in ruins, as both a symbol of our past mistakes and a memorial to all who lost their lives when Denny fell. The devastating events of recent months, the war of tyranny and the death of Uda in particular, have driven this truth home to me quite forcefully. If we build the city walls today, we are not giving approval to the very illness that destroyed our civilization. In the first place, Are we not setting ourselves up to repeat that pattern again in future generations? I have put much thought into this tonight and have found one situation. If we, the men and women who survived the downfall of any, are to thrive, we must break the pattern of hatred which has destroyed so many lives. We must begin our civilization anew. We can only do that if I write us a new age. I've spoken with Catherine about this, and she agrees. If I only hope the others will see it as well. Will these people never cease to amaze me? I thought they would object to my decision. After all, most of them linked back to Denny specifically to see the city rebuilt. But when I told them why we should not restore it, their response was immediate and unanimous. Therefore, yesterday they thought only of rebuilding. Today they concentrated solely on salvage. They intend to take their ruined city only to take from the ruined city only that which is best and move on. Everywhere I look, the enthusiasm for this task is obvious. It heartens me even as I face my own monumental contribution. I have written many ages in my lifetime, from my first timid attempts under the tyrannical tutelage of my father to my most recent accomplishments. Everyone. Never before has so much been riding on my skill that the age I am about to write must be all I ever imagined and more. How am I going to achieve it? Catherine laughed this morning when she saw me drudging out my old notebooks. I must have made quite the picture, sitting near the embers of fire, surrounded by countless commentaries and journals. Some of them seemed more dust than paper, but the hours I spent sifting through them was worth it. That's pretty neat. I didn't take a screenshot of all of this, but I will of that one. Ideas for what this new age might be are tumbling around in my head. These are almost too many to catch a hold of. Obviously, I must choose some starting points as my anchor. Writing ages is a science of precisely structured execution of words. Every execution needs as its foundation an underlying concept around which the age can develop. In the past, I've written my books around whatever idea intrigued me most of the time. I wanted to discover how the age to which the book linked would manifest the results of that idea. Sometimes civilizations had arisen, sometimes they had not. But whether a society had come to exist on the age or not, it was often in response to whatever concept the book I had written embodied. This time, my search for a concept must be weighed very carefully. I already have the civilization I wish to see develop. I know our history as a people and the path we have followed to arrive here. Today I must write a book which will link to an age that will allow us to continue on our way, growing ever stronger as one people, What underlying concept must this new age reflect that will best allow our civilization to thrive? I figure I must think on this, see more, some more. This can't read tonight. I have taken It has taken me some time, but I may have found my anchor. It came to me as I was considering what I know about the survivors of Denny. We have seen so much tragedy in our lives, from the destruction of the city to the suffering and loss of loved ones due to plague and deprivation. In the midst of those absurdity, my kingsmen, I have found the strength to keep going. We have tapped into our individual strengths, transform ourselves into something stronger. I'm going to read a lot faster. It is a characteristic I have seen in several of my ages. Whenever I focus my writings on the inherent energy sources in the world, long ago, grandmother taught me that no life, I can't really read, no possibility for life in the age exists without the presence of energy. But tapping into that latent energy sources, an age moves out of stasis. It grows, transforms, and develops. Energy as underlying fuel that powers all activity. To put it more simply, energy powers future motion. Let, as grandmother, I don't know what that is. Yet, as grandmother also liked to remind me, energy in an age takes on diverse forms. Each one has strengths and weaknesses of its own. How many forms will this new age contain? Which types will be its dominant themes? Tomorrow I will link back to Myst, and from there revisit several of my ages. Perhaps in my old worlds I will discover new ideas. Had almost forgotten how painful it is to revisit Myst in 10 years since my son Sirius and left me trapped in Kiever Island and burned so many of my books. Catherine and I have rarely linked back. I told myself we were always too busy, first with Friday Ages like everyone, then with searching the ages of Denny for survivors. I always said we would spend more time on Myst eventually. The truth is I have been avoiding the age. Seeing the island in its current condition ignites such anger and grief. I am immediately reminded of the betrayal of my sons, as well as the cruelty and greed with which they plundered my ages. I know I am partially responsible for these acts. I constantly wonder if there were something I could have done to reach out to the boys before enough. Nothing can change the tragedy of the past. Like my Denny kinsman, I must salvage what is best and move on. Perhaps in the process I will find forgiveness and hope. Once again, I look back on Myst Island, having completed a lengthy sojourn through several of my ages. The trip itself was not as inspiring as I'd hoped. The Atlantic age was especially disturbing, but has it not always been so? The very time I linked to the age, its inhabited landscape was shaking with tremors. At the time, I felt it was because this energy in the age was unfocused, and if it were at war with itself. Civility finally came, but even after it did, I truly felt comfortable. I never truly felt comfortable there. I missed the more natural balance of ages like Channel would. Perhaps that is the lesson to take home with me, that the Denny too has faced much turmoil in their history, their lives have been unsettled even enough. Perhaps I should. Man, this is a. I don't know if I can read all this or not. Yeah, I'm not gonna read the rest of this. Oh wait, I ain't too much. Yeah. That already exists with our civilization, providing it with a more stable environment in which to grow, an environment in which the natural equilibrium of the world serves as a counterpoint to the upheaval of civilization. The more I consider it, the more I wonder if I should make nature the foundation of the New Age worlds like China would attain equilibrium quite easily, primarily because of one reason: nature encourages mutual dependence. As one life withers and dies, it provides nourishment so that the other might live. Plants become food for the other animals, and the waste products animals cannot absorb become nutrients to sustain other plants. So long as nothing interrupts to upset this balance, nature can maintain itself indefinitely. An interesting metaphor to set as an example for my people. I think I will confer with Catherine on this subject. Her ages always exhibit symbolism more dramatically than mine. Perhaps she should help me write this new age. I'm so tired I can barely think right now, but I would force myself to stay focused, for I have not written anything in days. The moment I linked back to Denny, I was besieged with requests for my attentive assistance. Master Toman wanted to consult over which stone cutters were worth salvaging, and did I think the rock in this new age would be difficult to sound. Omi and Exile needed my opinion about a new history they had uncovered. Should they hold off on starting its translation, or would paper supplies be scarce in the new age? There are so many questions needed answered, I barely had time to see Catherine. She, of course, laughed at my dilemma, saying that I had no one to blame but myself. After all, I was one who encouraged the Denny to start over. Naturally, they would look to me to keep them moving in the right direction, unless some other force steps in to change that view. Her words made me realize a fundamental principle that I had thus far been ignoring. At this time, I have been debating whether to make energy or nature the underlying framework for this age, but there is another something cuckoo's. I can't really read that. That's to consider. An age based solely on the future motion of energy will face constant upheaval, and most likely at the cost of tranquility. And an age based solely on the mutual dependence of nature will become so balanced over time it may cease to tolerate change. Yet to continue to grow as a people, Danny's civilizations need both occasional upheaval followed by periods of balance and stability. I have seen such situations occur naturally on several of my ages. Each time it was because I centered the writing around one dynamic force that I had decided to make prevalent in the age. Such forces will allow the balance between forward motion and mutual dependence to facilitate. As one concept takes precedence, the other recedes until another force surfaces to change things. As Catherine's insightful comment reminded me, Dynamic forces spur change. I am too tired to think more on this tonight. Hopefully in the morning my thoughts will coalesce. Catherine surprised me today. Apparently while I was off visiting my age, she linked to Myst herself. She did not say so, but I could tell that her visit had been painful more than ever now. I am convinced we must find a place to begin again ourselves. Perhaps when I've written this new age for the Denny, I will put some thought into where Catherine and I might live. I cannot believe I did not see it before. All this time I have been struggling to describe the perfect age for Denny. I considered and then reject several underlying concepts which I felt might be best set the course for the future, as if I alone should determine how Denny's civilization will grow. My own way have becoming as my father. In truth, I owe this realization to Catherine. Sensing my indecision about the age, she led me to walk around Denny, salvaging efforts as well underway, with teams of people scouring the Verns Harbor district. As I watched my Denny kinsmen decide which parts of their culture to retain, I realized they do not need me to determine their future. They are quite capable of setting its course themselves, regardless of what age I write. This realization has opened my eyes to the best way of approaching my tasks. I no longer need to worry about which underlying concept, energy, nature, dynamic forces I should make prevalent in the age. Rather, I must strive to include them all. I must write a balance of systems into the scripted book, enough so that the Denny people must constantly be challenged to obtain their unique potential. My grandmother often pointed out to me when we spoke about ages back on Myst, balanced systems stimulate civilization. At last I feel I'm ready to begin writing this age. Indeed, I am eager to begin, and I have already come up with a perfect name. I know my grandmother would have loved it. Of course, Catherine could tell the moment I turned to her that I had finally found my starting point. I bubbled on side for some time before I noticed the smile she was hiding. When I saw it enough to grow suspicious, she handed me one of my oldest age books. She must have picked it up when she linked back to Myst, seeing the name Jenny emblazoned on the book cover. I could only shake my head. The one age I never got around to revisiting was the one that might have helped me the most. How foolish was I to have completely forgotten it. I think after I finish this work, I should take one final trip, if only to help restore an old fool's memories. Okay, that is finished. So we will end this recording, and I hope you enjoyed it. And let's see how we get back out of here. Okay. And thank you. And I'll make a save. I really like this look. But I will be back again soon with the next part. And I'll try to make the videos around this length. I know it's kind of hard to watch all of them. Very long videos, so I make them short. Thank you. I'm Chan the Tech Man. And go to my website at chansmith.me.